Joining us from Washington is American author and investment consultant Peter Tanous to discuss the latest developments related to the U.S. tariff policy and trade talks with other countries. Mr. Peter, pleasure to have you as always. And starting with the recent developments between the two countries, China and the United States, what do China's recent tariff exemptions signal about its broader trade strategy with the United States?
Yeah, the issue now is pretty much of a stalemate on the China tariffs. To put it into perspective, the relationship on tariffs between China and the United States is the single most important issue for both countries. Uh, President Trump had a big wake-up call the other day when he met with a group of CEOs from major retail firms like Target and Walmart and others. And they basically said to him that if this continues very long, you're going to see empty shelves on all of our stores because nobody is going to buy anything from China with 145% tariffs.
Mhm.
So the president got the message, and this is the start of a de-escalation of the tariff war between China and the United States, which is positive.
Mhm. Shedding light on this de escalation, looking ahead, could these exemptions be a precursor to more comprehensive trade negotiations?
I think that's a very good statement, and I think the simple answer to that is yes. But Xi is not willing to. President Xi of China is not willing to come to the table like a mendicant. He's not begging for anything. He knows Trump is a bit over the barrel on this because if he wants to stop the markets from roiling and interest rates from going up and the stock market crashing, he needs to do something fairly quickly. And of course, the president already did that. He said, as he was departing for the Pope's funeral in Rome, he said, uh, the China tariffs are too high. We've got to do something. All right. That's a good first step, isn't it?
Mhm. Now, taking a look at the general strategy, are we witnessing a shift from confrontation to cooperation in global trade policy?
Yeah, I'm sorry. Would you repeat that?
Yes, generally speaking, are we witnessing a shift from confrontation to cooperation in global trade policy?
Yeah, I mean, that's always been the plan. The question was how long it was going to take. For example, Vice President Vance was in India a few days ago, and uh, as I spoke, in fact, on the air with you, the India trade deal is going to be one of the easiest things they do. And in fact, before he got on the plane on the way back, he pretty much announced that they had reached an accord on tariffs and trade with India. Many of these countries are going to be pretty easy to resolve. China is the big sticking point because it is the most important in terms of tariffs and trade between the two countries. And both countries need this to be resolved. But the simple answer to your question is yes, this is a step in the right direction.
Mhm. Now, moving on to the South Korea US trade talks, do you believe that the United States is likely to grant South Korea a tariff exemption?
Yes, the simple answer here is yes, on the basis of ongoing negotiations. As we've seen, uh, the way the president is approaching these tariffs is that he imposes heavy tariffs at the beginning, and then starts to create an environment to get them off. One of the ways he gets them off is to start negotiations. And then he says, we will now suspend tariffs while the negotiations take place. So this is a formula we've seen before. We saw it with the European Union. We saw it generally with Canada and Mexico. And that's likely to continue. So it's also likely to be a pattern that will be followed in the South Korea negotiations.
Now, delving more in these early negotiations, what are the key priorities for South Korea from your point of view?
Without getting into details, South Korea is a major car exporter. There a lot of manufacturing that used to be in China and other countries went to South Korea. So they've become important. Korea has become an important trading partner for the United States, and they will work on reducing tariffs that affect their economy. And the United States will also be looking to reduce tariffs that are important to us.
Hmm. Now, I have to ask you, sir, about the US-India trade agreement. What are the most significant sectors covered in the proposed US-India deal?
Oh, I can't give you the details because I don't think we have them yet.
Hmm.
They simply are. We're speaking in much broader terms at this point. I don't think we've gotten down much to the details, but there are agricultural considerations. There is the fact that India is the largest country in the world. The fact that they are potentially an important economic and not only trading partner with the United States, because they have a very technologically oriented population and a population that largely speaks English.
But allow me to ask you, sir, could India's inclusion of critical minerals signal strategic alignments with US supply chain goals?
I mean, that's very important. The minerals issue has been a very important part of this, particularly rare earth minerals come from China and a smaller percentage from India. And we need these for a variety of exotic uses. For example, from loudspeakers that are used in hi-fi sets to precision data and precision elements of defense and other strategic elements where these items are used. So yes, it's very important, and it will be at the forefront of the negotiations, and it will be resolved.
From Washington, that was American author and investment consultant Peter Tanous. Thank you so much for your insights and for being here with us on the Economic Bulletin.